Hi, I'm Daniel, and I just saw the new Netflix film Wish Dragon by Sony Pictures Animation, teaming up with Chinese animation studios. It seemed to have been in production for a long time, but eventually got dumped on Netflix with little advertising. Trust vs. the Machines is also by Sony and Netflix, but that got actual advertising, while this got one trailer that was easy to miss, and being at the top of Netflix coming soon section for some weeks. By the trailers, I was interested in this for being a telling of the Yadding Like Genie story. The fact that there was only one trailer makes me feel like Netflix were expecting this to be very discussed. With it being in the middle of two big Sony Pictures animation projects, this was put on the side to be forgotten. The story is half similar to a Yaddin with a wish-granting magical creature who wants freedom and can grant free wishes. It is similar to Aladdin and multiple other Three Wishes stories, but this angle works for giving the dragon the backstory, which really adds this movie's feel compared to others. It is also a word that isn't really original and doesn't decide to make that the main point to the story, which helps a lot. The other half of the plot is about Din trying to regain his friendship with Yena. It ties with the wish-granting dragon story well, which is surprising, because the other films like this feel like two different movies fighting for attention, or choose one over the other. Anyway, this half is, while not bad, the weaker part, because it tries to include a theme about the rich and the poor, but it really massively messes it up in a way I can't explain in this spoiler-free video, so I won't. Most of the film's finale is great for the twist and the actually superb action, but the ending is highly flawed for messing up themes and not answering questions. It clearly needs a bigger epilogue because it isn't even an open ending, it's just rushed. I'm going to keep my discussion of the characters short here because I normally discuss all the main characters individually but not here. The characters are decent but very bland. Dragon, Young, has an amazing arc and backstory in the film, but he isn't really funny when I feel he's supposed to be the comic relief character. This Dragon isn't a character-driven film, so the characters aren't really a positive or negative thing, it's just something in the film. And it's fine enough. Comedy is mostly funny in my opinion, with a lot of good jokes, and it isn't overboard being a comedy film. It doesn't have forced mainstream popular references, that's probably because even if it weren't for lockdown, Sony would have still probably set the film to Netflix. The animation is generic, looking like a modern CG animated film with no differences to make it stand out. Sony Pictures Animation, even though the films are relatively weak most of the time, often tries to do new stuff for animation, while this doesn't really. I thought it'll be best to have the films with more ambitious animation stand out more, but this still is a problem for this film. This dragon still looks good, and the highlight is the dragon design, which is way better than by the Ash Dragon, because it's simplistic and doesn't have weird proportions. Even with that, it still does nothing interesting aside from one flashback scene in a different style. This film takes place in China, but it isn't obvious about it, and the biggest thing relating to the country is a dragon, which is apparently the only thing about China's culture according to the media. I just wanted to point out that trope, because coming like every time something's Chinese related, there needs to be a dragon. In conclusion, I would give Wish Dragon 8 out of 10 and would recommend. I think it's a Yowei, but I don't know. It worked well that I started ranking the initial impression here, because I am most conflicted about how to feel about this. I would maybe recommend it if you have Netflix, but there is much better to watch like The Mitchell vs. Machines. Now I think people saying Tony Pitch animation is getting better makes sense, not after just one film that isn't even that amazing in my opinion. So Transylvania 4 is coming out July, and that looks like it could be good, but even if it isn't, it's still ending a franchise which is good. Can I mention how weird it is that Sony's releasing 3 films in 4 months? That is a yacht. Wish Dragon is good, but nothing about it is really memorable, and there isn't really that much to discuss about it. The end.